glue everything. Use 2-inch screws and CA glue to set the nuts with. The new shooter's bench for the backyard turned out nice. Pat's not going to complain about it sitting out there against the fence. But what we really needed for it was an adjustable stool. If the bench doesn't fit you, you can't shoot. And if you're 6'1", it's certainly going to have a shorter stool than someone who's, 4 foot 5 inches tall. We teach little kids to shoot. So we really need a stool that adjusts from about 16 inches all the way up to 25. And that's what this one does. That piece of allthread. So the stool will actually fit the shooter now. Something else made entirely from scrap. I did a video of it that you're about to watch, and I left out doing the detailed brackets and putting that floor in. It was boring enough as it was, and the painting it, and this is lacquer. It's not polyurethane. So the finish and the detail I left out, but in inletting the nuts and setting the distance, that's the important part. The Jessam is a machine. It is so accurate. When you get it set up and you get everything square on it, see all those adjustment points? It is so easy to adjust. But everything on it is just dead on accurate. Something that gets missed a lot is the simple stop that they have. Well, this stop is so accurate. You put it on 14, that's exactly what you get. And it goes way out there. So you can actually run a 2-stop cut. Of course, they won't be that wide, but it's easy to get them 10 inches apart. Say you're building shelves. And these fences, this is so accurate, this guide and this stop. So let's cut it and see exactly how it does. Obviously, no, we're not going to do this one-handed, but you put it there, and that is exactly what you're going to get, 14. A bandsaw makes your life so much easier. This is an old one. I rebuilt it completely, and it works better than the new ones. The blade won't turn that stuff, so we have to make the gullet for the blade to turn in. So we're making a little space here. It'll give the blade a chance to turn in the corner. How slick is that? Nice tight corner. Now we would normally sand these all by hand, but I've got a better idea. Now let's cut the bottoms out. This will be the pattern, so we got to do really well on this one so we have a good pattern for the others. That corner's wide enough we didn't have to make a gullet for the blade to turn. Well, I got a little ground up there, so let's make a start here. Copy this. One more time. The spindle sander, my favorite tool. Gotta have your cleaner. Gotta be plugged in. lost the hose. It's not kicking that much up anyway. Enough for now. Okay, so the puzzle pieces are going to be like this. These are the legs. So, okay, we messed with it a little bit and it looks like about 14 degrees is going to be about the right angle. So the edges of this block have to be all at 14 degrees also. So when it comes together, the brace on the side, the other leg and the brace on the side, it all fits. So let's put the angles on this and the other side. Here's the other side. I haven't moved the fence since I cut the first side, so this one will be the exact same height as the other one. Yay, you got a thunk ahead. All right, now we need the center block all cut at 14 degrees. This is a great fence. peasy. Now we got all the angles that we need and everything will fit. It's a 1/4 inch longer on one side. I did that because of the I made this oblong because that is. But anyway, that's what we're looking for. Everything fits. So actually that is just a hair long. That's okay. That's pretty cool. I got to get the bevel on these legs on the inside. So it needs to bevel like this. This one needs to bevel like this. Easy to forget. Okay, we got our 14 degrees cut on that. Cut on both ends of these. And everything fits. So that's what we're going to go with. It'll have a 4-inch. It'll have a 4-inch brace, something like that. There. This is straight up and down, so we don't need an angle on it here. So now what we have to do is we need to attach this. And there needs to be a 3/4 inch hole through the whole thing for the all thread to pass through. So that's what we're going to do. Attach that and drill a hole in it over there on the old drill press. Set it up level. Take your time. Well, this is what we're going for. This will come up and down, obviously, when you turn it. So we got the top. We got the all thread all the way through. And you have to have a nut on the bottom and one on the top. And there needs to be about 4 inches in between them. So when it's up high like so, it won't wobble around. If you want it to be sturdy, you gotta have about 4 inches or at least between those nuts. So to put 2 nuts in place like that is difficult. You have to inlet them both in the pieces first, and then you start with the top one. You set the top one, put your spacer in there, and then this one with the nut in it, you have to spin it down. Get your glue on there and spin it down, and you have to use the rod itself to tighten these together. So you tighten it by obviously spinning this one down until it's tight, and that is the only way to get 2 nuts inlet in a piece like that. You have to be able to, you can't just stick it in there. It's physically impossible. So now that we've got this part done, see the angle for the legs? We can put the legs on it, and obviously that's upside down. But we're getting there. All right. We're
we've got the tension set correctly so you can actually spin it. Everything is we're ready to put the legs on, so let's screw the legs onto it. I don't use drywall screws anymore. They make good screws now that use Torx heads. You should break down and buy some. Okay, so it's going to be glued on the bottom and the side. Let's make a mark here. So we'll know where to put our glue. I don't spare the horses when it comes to glue. Alright. Fairly decent fit. Let's put one out in the middle. Oh, did you see that? That drill bit's bent. Right in the middle of the car door. So you've got to pull it down a little bit to get the squeeze out there. Means we need to put two in the, we screwed it into this block, now we'll screw into that block. Perfect. Right where we wanted it. Mark. And get some glue going. Lots of squeeze out. That's good. Same thing with this one. Oops. we go.